Lumberyard or big box store? Where is the better place to get lumber these days? With lumber prices going through the roof, it's prudent to get the best lumber for the job at the best price. I'm Scott Bain. They call me the old farmer. I remember in my youth going to the local lumber yard and loving it for the smells and the activity all around me. When I was first married to Mrs. Old Farmer, the only way we could afford to do home improvements was to do them myself. I got my wood and most of the supplies from the local lumber yard. Big box stores had not been invented yet. The older I got, the closer to 90 degrees my cuts became. To draw in customers, the big box stores offered low prices and a bigger selection of not only wood, but everything else, too. Whenever I had a larger project, I still went to the lumber yard to get my wood and accessories. I liked going to the lumber yards. I never liked going to the big box stores after the first few times. As my cuts got better and I used fewer bandages, I still liked lumber yards. Then things went mule over tea kettle. Just think of it, mule over tea kettle. This is YouTube. Mule over tea kettle through the COVID-19 through 21 virus. The supply of lumber started to dry up, along with some natural disasters occurring where communities needed to do some rebuilding, which further dipped into wood reserves. In Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer repeatedly made some very bad decisions. In any situation such as this, mistakes happen. You're learning on the fly. That's understood. Except Governor Whitmer wouldn't or couldn't learn to adjust as knowledge was gained. It seemed that if you are a construction supply center with a free popcorn machine, you could stay open. If you didn't have that free popcorn machine, you had to close. I'm not saying precautions should not have been taken. Indeed, they should. But this is not the case, and the lumber yards had to close, even for non-contact purchases. This put the hurts to the lumber yards. To recover, they jacked up their profit margin on lumber. On April 19th, the price for a board 12 inches wide by 1 inch by 8 feet was $19.99 at the lumber yard. At the local Menards, the same board was $15.69 with a mail-in 11% rebate. As an important side note, I want to thank Josh at the Lansing Menard store for all the help he gave in selecting and loading the lumber. Menards, he deserves a raise, if not a big fat bonus. The lumberyard has dropped their selections to strictly common construction lumber with only a few exceptions. The quality of the same grade of lumber can be of varying degree. In fact, I think the number 2 pine might actually be a number 3 sumac or worse at the lumberyard. Regrettably, I have stopped going to the lumberyards for lumber. There are no sawmills within a reasonable distance, and I have switched to Menards, a big box store similar to Home Depot or Lowe's. The lumber I got was at the top end of the number 2 scale or number 2 prime appearance grade APG. I should get a subscription and a thumbs up for that mouthful. There is a very bad side to going to Menards, and it's more than aggravating. Menards plays their TV and radio jingle in the store every 7.5 minutes over the PA. The customers hate it, and the poor employees are becoming numb from hearing it. So Menards, kill the jingle in the store. Keep it for radio and TV. Someone has given you some bad advice. They lost a lot of business from me because of the jingle over the PA. When the PA broke down last year, it was actually pleasant shopping at Menards. There was less tension with the customers and the employees. Just like any store, they have their problems too, but most times they do a pretty good job at Menards. The quality of the wood reminds me of times past. It's what I expect to see at the lumberyards, at least the ones I have visited. The last 2 times the wood being sold looked like punk wood, something that I would burn, surely nothing that I would buy. Home Depot has better wood too. I can't say for Lowe's because I've never bought any wood from them. From my perspective, I don't know how lumberyards will stay in business when they price their product far beyond competitive prices and quality far below what should be offered. That's something to think about. Check around and see where your best sources can be found with fair pricing. I'd appreciate it much if you'd subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell, all the other YouTube hoops. As for Menards, I would greatly appreciate their getting the jingle out of their stores. Well, this is Scott Bain, the old farmer. Be well and be safe.
You save big money, you save big money when you shop Menards.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel, and thanks again for watching. Bye.
VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.